Sports for Real with Coach Hall. One of my favorite authors, Iceberg Slim, once wrote a book called A Lone White Con. It's a story about one of the world's greatest con men and how he took off this caper for a whole lot of bread. Well, seems like you have the similar situation that's unfolding now behind Michael Oher. You remember him, the guy whose life was portrayed in the movie, The Blindsided? Well, he seemed to be an orphan and had nowhere else to go, and this white family just happens to take him in and ushers him on through his college career and into the pros. Then they make a movie about it and everybody gets rich. Well, Oher is saying now that he never got a dime from the movie, and the family had convinced him that they were going to adopt him and bring them into his family, and he had the papers signed to prove it. Well, it comes to find out that the papers he signed was actually a conservatorship, which means that he's pretty much a ward of the family he was taken in by. And this agreement was supposed to go till he was age 25. Well, Oher's in his late 30s now, and the conservatorship is still in effect. He's played in the NFL, he's made millions there, and the movie that he portrayed, The Blind Side, they made millions there. He claims not to have profited at all. Now he feels duped by the family who took him in. And it looks like the family who did that, they did it for personal gain, not for the benefit of Oher. Case in point, the money that they were supposed to have received from the movie was all set to benefit their kids. Didn't say anything about Oher. Well, since this allegation came out after he filed his court papers, the family, the Tuohys, have come back and said, well, they had their own money, and there was no reason for them to take his money to enrich themselves. So somebody is not quite telling the truth here. So what do you think the truth is? Well, of course, it's somewhere in the middle. They had to have some kind of benefit from the situation, or more likely, they would not have done that. So it goes back to the basic premises. You don't get something for nothing. There's always some kind of strings attached to it. Sometimes you can't see it. And that's what I call an invisible blindfold. So it looks like Oher's had an invisible blindfold on ever since he met this Tuohy family. But again, they deny all of that. They say they already had their money and there was no reason to do that. But when you think about it, some of the richest people in the world say that you may have enough, but what truly is enough? What's going to happen 5 minutes from now that you might need millions? Your life can change in the blink of an eye. So the more money, the better. And if you can't spend it, you can always pass it on to your future generation. That's what they call generational wealth. So in that instance, yes, he may have sold his company for many millions or whatever he got from it. And he said it's public record, so you can look it up yourself. But is it truly enough? So somebody has a legitimate case here. But as far as the conservatorship goes, there's no reason in the world why a grown man should have some other man controlling you, especially when you're almost 40 years old. So I'll keep you posted as I hear things about this case, but it don't smell so good from where I'm standing. Sports for Real.